Have you ever found yourself driving down the highway or maybe doing the dishes, just humming along to this absolutely gorgeous, catchy melody?
Oh, all the time. The kind you've heard a million times.
Right. But then you suddenly stop and realize that the lyrics you were cheerfully singing are intensely, like almost terrifyingly dark.
It's a really profound sort of cognitive dissonance. You're bobbing your head to what feels like a breezy summer anthem, and then your brain actually processes the vocabulary.
Yeah,
Like the music is telling your nervous system to relax and feel good, while the words are describing absolute devastation. It creates this psychological friction where you find yourself asking, wait, what am I actually endorsing by singing this right now?
well, today we are going to explore what might be the ultimate bait and switch in modern music history. Welcome to another deep dive.
I'm really excited for this one.
Me too. For this deep dive, we are unpacking Soundgarden's 1994 iconic track, Black Hole Sun.
Written by the late, great Chris Cornell.
Right, and we are not just taking a nostalgic trip into 1990s grunge here. We have a very specific mission.
Which is?
We are going to look at the anatomy of this track to understand exactly how a song about total apocalyptic obliteration managed to disguise itself as this massive, ubiquitous pop crossover hit.
It really did take over everything.
It did. And more importantly, we're going to explore why its specific diagnosis of modern life feels even more suffocatingly accurate for you and me today than it did 3 decades ago.
Which is, the true test of enduring art. The fundamental tension that the song is built upon is its ability to exist entirely in an uncanny valley between breathtaking beauty and absolute dread.
Yeah, it's a weird space to occupy.
Exactly. I mean, anyone with a guitar and a distortion pedal can write a dark, angry song. What Chris Cornell did was infinitely more difficult. He wrote a genuinely gorgeous song about total darkness.
It really is beautiful.
The melody is lush. It has this sweeping, almost hymnal quality to it. But the lyrics describe a world that is rotting from the inside out.
But before we even look at the words, we have to unpack the sonic world he built. Because the sound itself sets a physical trap for the listener.
Oh, completely.
When you isolate the specific musical choices happening in those opening seconds, the guitar tone is, well, it's detuned, it's syrupy.
Yeah, heavily processed.
And it has this incredibly distinct, slow revolving quality. To me, it sounds exactly the way heat shimmers hovering over black asphalt looks.
Oh, that's a perfect way to describe it.
You know that wavy, distorted mirage you stare into on a sweltering July afternoon where the air looks like liquid?
Right, where everything is just melting.
Exactly. That visual is exactly what the opening of this song sounds like.
The mechanics of the music are specifically designed to create that heavy, oppressive atmosphere. The chord movement itself is wildly deceptive, actually.
How so?
Well, on the surface, the instrumentation has that heavy, sludgy, detuned structure that defined the Seattle grunge movement. But the underlying instinct behind the chord progression is pure 1960s pop.
Wait, really? Pop?
Yeah. It moves with this very Beatle-esque logic, which is why it slipped past the defenses of millions of listeners who wouldn't normally listen to heavy rock. Our brains are hardwired to recognize and enjoy those satisfying pop resolutions.
Even when they're played through a wall of distortion,
Exactly.
it completely tricks the ear. You think you're walking into a pop song, but you're actually wading into quicksand.
That's a great way to put it.
And the true centerpiece of that sonic landscape, the thing pulling you under, is Cornell's voice. We can't just talk about his vocal performance as singing.
No, not at all.
He is using his voice as an extreme instrument. He had this miraculous capability of modulating from a fragile, terrifying whisper to just a catastrophic wail in the same breath.
It's unbelievable to listen to. He doesn't just step up to a microphone and perform desperation for an audience. He physically embodies it.
Yes, you can literally hear the vocal cords fraying under the psychological weight of the lyrics.
You feel it in your chest,
Mm.
which makes the central impossibility of the song so striking. Let's look at the title itself, Black Hole Sun. Right.
If we break down the cosmology of that phrase, it's a physical paradox. A sun is a star. Its entire function is to radiate. It pushes light, heat, and energy outward into the solar system, giving life to everything around it.
Right, it's the source of life.
But a black hole is the exact inverse. It is a dead star that has collapsed under its own gravity. It doesn't radiate at all. It consumes.
So it's completely inverted.
Exactly. Its gravitational pull is so absolute that nothing escapes it. No light, no heat, no sound.
It's taking the ultimate symbol of life and warmth and turning it into the ultimate engine of destruction.
Yeah.
And he isn't just using this impossible object as a clever poetic metaphor for death. He's actively calling this thing toward him. It is a wish.
A very dark wish.
The speaker in the song is looking up at the sky and praying for this inverted, destructive gravity well to come and swallow the banal, suffocating surfaces of ordinary life.
He is attempting to summon a cosmic eraser. And if the speaker is praying for the entire world to be completely unmade, we have to examine the specific world they find so unbearable. Right, what's so bad that you want a black hole to eat the Earth?
Exactly. Why is the reality around him so intolerable that total annihilation feels like a relief? That question drops us straight into the song's opening verse, which immediately plunges the listener into a state of deep concealment.
Yeah, the speaker starts by describing being indisposed, unavailable, incapacitated, and moving through the world wearing disguises that nobody recognizes.
Right.
And then we get the line about what is hiding behind the face lies the snake.
Right.
Now, I want to stop here because when I first heard this lyric, my immediate thought was that the speaker was acting like, I don't know, Holden Caulfield.
Oh, the classic teenage angst angle.
Yeah. I picture him looking out his window at a suburban neighborhood, judging all his neighbors and calling the corrupt, fake people around him snakes.
That is the most common surface reading for sure. Just assuming the narrator is the lone authentic person in a world of fakes.
That's not it.
No, the imagery actually points inward. The speaker isn't pointing fingers at everyone else's hypocrisy. They're acknowledging that the corrupt snake is coiled right there behind their own disguised face.
Oh, wow.
They are fully complicit in the masquerade. The snake carries immense archetypal weight, It's the biblical deceiver, the creature of the underworld that operates completely beneath the visible surface.
That shifts the entire emotional landscape. He isn't just angry at other people. He is disgusted by his own participation in the lie.
Exactly.
And the physical environment perfectly reflects that internal decay. The imagery that follows, boiling heat, summer stench, 'neath the black, the sky looks dead, it creates a deeply uncomfortable setting.
It's palpable.
We usually associate summer heat with vitality, beaches, and energy, but this is a totally American Gothic landscape.
It really is.
Imagine the suburbs in late August when it hasn't rained in weeks. The grass is dead, the sky has this flat, bleached-out quality that feels like a lid pressing down on your town. The heat isn't giving you life. It's putrescent. It is just baking the rot into the pavement.
The atmosphere is just completely stagnant. And right in the middle of this suffocating, putrescent suburban wasteland, we are hit with an image that entirely subverts our expectations of what a crisis looks like.
The cream line.
Yeah. The lyric is, call my name through the cream.
This has to be the strangest, most evocative image in 1990s rock.
It's so weird.
When I really tried to visualize what screaming through the cream would actually feel like, the only analogy that made sense was being trapped inside a sensory deprivation tank.
Okay, I can see that.
But instead of floating in salt water, the tank is completely filled to the brim with warm, luxury hand lotion.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Right. You try to scream, but it just fills your mouth with something thick, rich, and totally silencing.
A sensory deprivation tank of lotion captures exactly why that specific metaphor is so dangerous. It's not just obscuring, it's intensely comfortable. I mean, what does cream represent in our culture? It is the thick, rich, white surface of wealth, of comfort, of the totally ordinary suburban existence.
The good life, supposedly.
Right. The desperation in this song is entirely unique because the person screaming isn't standing in the middle of a war zone or bleeding out in an alleyway. They are screaming from inside normalcy.
Wow.
You don't realize you're suffocating until it's too late because the thing choking you is supposedly a luxury.
Muffled by comfort. That is terrifying, especially when you apply it to how we live today.
Oh, absolutely.
If the cream is whatever numbs us and keeps us docile, we are drowning in it right now. And this profound sense of personal alienation eventually zooms out. In the second verse, it stops being just about the singer's internal rot and becomes a broader cultural diagnosis.
Yeah, the perspective widens.
He observes that times are gone for honest men and that it's been far too long for snakes.
Notice the vocal delivery on those lines, too. There's no performative rage.
Right, he's not shouting.
He doesn't scream it like a punk rock anthem trying to smash the system. He delivers it as an empirical, undeniable fact. It operates like a very bleak weather report. Like, today will be humid, And by the way, honest men are extinct.
Just a casual apocalypse.
Exactly. When you accept the total corruption of your environment as a simple fact of nature, you stop fighting it. You just adapt to it.
And the way you adapt to it is by shutting down, which is exactly the condition he diagnoses next. In my shoes, a walking sleep.
The walking sleep.
When you think about the mechanics of a walking sleep, it makes perfect sense as a survival mechanism for the sensory deprivation tank of lotion.
He is describing chronic dissociation here. A walking sleep isn't an acute, sudden panic attack. It is the texture of someone who has managed their own deep alienation for so long that going through the motions of a Tuesday has become indistinguishable from actual life.
They're just on autopilot.
Completely. You are ambulatory. You are walking around, paying your mortgage, nodding at your coworkers, picking up groceries, but you are not actually awake inside the experience of your own life. The disguise has completely fused with the face.
Which makes the following plea so heartbreaking. In my youth, I pray to keep. When you look at the context of the walking sleep, youth here isn't just some trite nostalgia for riding bikes or having no bills to pay. It's a desperate, clawing prayer to hold on to the very last time the world actually felt real to him.
Exactly. He is trying to remember what it felt like before the disguises became mandatory.
He's craving the friction of reality. He wants to feel something solid again. And this verse ends with a fascinating structural choice. The lyric is, heaven send, hell away.
It is such a brilliant line.
Wait, let's pause there, because I've seen that described as a theological chiasmus. And that is a very heavy academic term. Let's break that down for everyone. Are we just talking about a mirrored, inverted prayer?
Essentially, yes. A chiasmus is an X-shaped rhetorical structure where concepts are repeated in reverse order. So he is asking the divine to arrive and the infernal to leave.
Oh, I see.
It is a perfectly symmetrical Orthodox prayer for salvation. He is falling back on the oldest religious impulse humans have.
Yeah.
Just asking God to fix it. But he immediately undercuts that traditional comfort with what follows. He sets up this neat, tidy prayer for heaven and then drops the most devastating line in the entire song. No one sings like you anymore.
Oh, that line hurts.
It really does.
It feels so incredibly lonely because it connects directly to the listener's own phantom limbs.
Yeah.
Everyone listening to this right now has experienced that specific lamentation.
Yes.
We all have that lingering ache for a certain voice or a specific presence or a certain era of our lives that simply does not exist in the world anymore. You look around the landscape of your life, you realize that specific beauty is gone, and no amount of heaven send, hell away is going to bring it back.
It is the stark realization of a profound, unfixable absence. The Orthodox prayer failed. The real world is gone. All that is left is the suffocating cream of comfort, the disguised snakes, and the walking sleep.
It's incredibly bleak.
And once a person fully internalizes that their environment cannot be saved or reformed, there is only one logical solution left. You have to call in the demolition crew.
Which brings us to the iconic chorus, where the true nature of his plea is fully unleashed. Black hole sun, won't you come?
There it is.
The language mimics religious supplication. It is deeply liturgical. But when you think about the physics of what he is inviting in, it is sheer madness.
It is.
It's the equivalent of a guy walking out onto his front porch, casually unlocking his screen door, and politely inviting an F5 tornado to come inside and have a seat in the living room. Won't you come?
To truly grasp the psychology of that invitation, we really have to look at the tradition of apocalyptic mysticism.
Okay, let's define apocalyptic mysticism, because that sounds like something you'd hear about in a documentary about a doomsday cult.
It does sound a bit intense.
What did that actually mean for the guy singing the song?
Well, in mystical traditions, an apocalyptic mindset doesn't mean you desire the end of the world simply because you hate life or want to die. It means you desire the end because this specific form of life has become so corrupted, so thick with disguises and snakes, that it is beyond repair.
No, can't save it.
Exactly. You cannot put a Band-Aid on a rotting system. It has to be entirely erased so that something clean can exist, even if that something clean is just empty space. The black hole sun functions as a negative messiah.
A negative messiah.
Right. It isn't coming to build a kingdom. It is bringing mercy through total unmaking.
Mercy through unmaking. The destruction is the cure. You really see that raw desire for erasure in the bridge of the song, too. Hang my head, drown my fear, till you all just disappear.
Yeah.
So the fear he wants to drown isn't the fear of death at all.
Far from it. The fear is the ambient, exhausting terror of being present in a reality that feels entirely false. The ultimate desire here is not violence. It is just to be left completely, utterly alone in a world that has been emptied out.
Okay, but as we look closely at this apocalyptic prayer, I hit a logical paradox in the lyrics that I really struggled with.
Oh, which part?
In the main refrain,
Hmm.
he is begging this black hole sun to wash away the rain. Think about that for a second. Rain is water. Rain is already the mechanism we use to wash things away.
That's very true.
You wash dirt with rain, rain cleans the streets. Why in the world do you need a cosmological anomaly to wash water?
It is one of the most brilliant ambiguities Cornell wrote, actually. And there are two distinct ways to understand why the rain itself has to be destroyed.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first interpretation is emotional. In this reading, the rain isn't literal weather. It is the accumulated weight of grief. It is the persistent, miserable sadness of this disguised life that just will not stop falling on him.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't want a gentle shower to clean him off. He wants the intense, obliterating gravitational heat of a black hole to instantly evaporate an ocean of sadness.
So the rain is his own depression, and he needs a star to burn it away. That makes perfect sense. What is the second way to look at it?
The second reading is more environmental. The American Gothic world he has described as so deeply toxic, the summer stench, the snakes behind the faces, that even the natural elements have been corrupted.
Even the weather is bad.
Right. The rain itself is contaminated by the psychic rot of the suburbs. It isn't cleaning anything, it's just spreading the infection. Therefore, absolutely everything has to go. Even the water needs to be removed.
Wow.
In either interpretation, the ultimate goal isn't just an explosion for the sake of an explosion. The goal is pure aridity, absolute emptiness, the clean, absolute stillness of a universe after the black hole sun has consumed every last drop of moisture.
Absolute stillness. He wants to wipe the chalkboard so clean that he actually destroys the chalkboard in the process.
Perfectly said.
When you lay all of these pieces out, the craving for stillness, the disgust with surface-level comforts, the horror of the walking sleep, it becomes glaringly obvious why this track isn't just some time capsule trapped in 1994.
It completely transcends its era. The diagnosis Cornell offered, a society where people navigate their lives in disguises, suffocating under the cream of surface comfort, is a permanent condition of modern disillusionment.
For sure.
In fact, the specific aesthetic of beauty worn over rot is vastly more prevalent today.
I would argue it's our defining cultural trait right now. And the reason millions of people still cheerfully sing along to this incredibly dark prayer without feeling depressed is the pure, unfiltered sincerity in Chris Cornell's vocal performance.
It's undeniable.
It is a testimony, not a performance. Hearing someone channel that level of desperation allows the listener to safely explore the darkest impulses within themselves. We all have that part of our brain that looks at the overwhelming, noisy, hyper-connected world and just thinks, erase it, give me silence.
The sincerity anchors the darkness, making it cathartic rather than just bleak. And what is perhaps most haunting about the song is that the tension remains entirely unresolved.
Right.
The prayer is offered, but it hasn't been answered.
Exactly. For everyone listening right now, the black hole sun hasn't come yet. The sky is still there, the world is still spinning along, and we are all still navigating the heat shimmer.
We're still in the walking slip.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to carry into your day. We spent a lot of time dissecting the cream, that thick, obscuring layer of modern comfort, distraction, and wealth.
The luxury lotion.
Right. If that cream was suffocating in the 1990s, it has only gotten exponentially thicker, more digitized, and more inescapable today. We carry the sensory deprivation tank in our pockets now.
That is a terrifyingly accurate way to put it.
So ask yourself, what does your personal black hole sun look like today? What is the perfectly ordinary, completely accepted, comfortable thing in your daily routine that you secretly, deep down, wish would just be washed away entirely?
Definitely something to ponder.
The next time you find yourself driving down the highway, humming along to a beautiful, catchy melody, maybe take a second to listen to what is actually lurking beneath the surface.